Mounds View brought a good contingent too. A lot of green here in the stands.
On the same token, a lot of blue for Blaine also.
On Blaine's home court, the referees for tonight will be Jack Bloom and Bill Ivory. Both referees with a lot of experience here in the North Suburban Conference. And they'll be refereeing the 6th conference game for both teams here. Blaine with a 5th conference game. Both teams playing their 5th conference game here. Blaine is 1-3, and Mounds View 2-2, and that is rather deceiving considering Mounds View's talent, but 2-2 it is. A last-second loss to the Anoka Tornadoes, one of those losses.
It is deceiving because Mounds View is only a game out of first place. There's a bunch of teams grouped at 3-1, and they're back with a couple other teams at 2-2, and then Blaine's right behind them at 1-3. So it's as we said on the outset, a pivotal game for both teams.
Game starting late here at Blaine Senior High School as the B squad game ran a little bit late. That game was won by the Blaine B squad by a score of 74-63 in a game that was not quite as close as the score would indicate. Okay, we're getting ready for the starting lineups, announced by Rod Sampson.
Mr. Jim Horn and Mr. Steve Petrie. Starting for the Mustangs tonight, number 14, Tim Masso. Number 40, Steve Holter. Number 44, Matt Kelzenberg. Number 52, Steve McTavish. And captain number 50, Steve Schlotthauer. And now for the Bengals, coached by Mr. Kenny Novak Jr., assisted by Mr. Kenny Novak Sr. and Mr. Mike Glidden. For the Bengals, number 13, Mike Fisher. Number 21, Dave Fisher. Number 41, Jason McKay. Captain number 55, Corey Lund. And captain number 53, Jeff Wirtz. Let's play basketball. Now what did you say? What'd you say? Can't hold this in line, huh?
One of the shots are what's on the there was a big score. McTavish is 120.
McTavish is good.
Corey Wirtz with 16 points, averaging a game at the other forward, and Corey Lund at center. I believe I said Corey Wirtz in the opening. Sorry about that, gentlemen. Mounds View will counter with Masso at the guard, and as Jim Sella said earlier, 3 forwards actually, Holter, Kelzenberg, and McTavish, and Schlotthauer at center.
The key matchup will be at center between Lund and Schlotthauer. See how Lund can shut down, if he can, Steve Schlotthauer, the Metro leading conference scorer.
Tip goes to the Mounds View Mustangs, and Masso will bring it up for the Mounds View Mustangs. Driving for the circle was Holter. That's McTavish. McTavish will cross-court it over to Kelzenberg. Inside. Off the rim, won't go. Follow-up shot by Craig McTavish goes in, and Mounds View pulls ahead by a score of 2-0 to open the game here at Blaine.
McTavish got good inside rebounding position on it for the bound. One key insert is Lund was pushing Schlotthauer all over the lane. That could be a sign of things to come.
And there's the zone buster for the Blaine Bengals. Dave Fisher puts in a pair for the Blaine Bengals. Inside, 3-second violation. I believe it's going to be a shove on Jeff Wirtz. Jeff Wirtz draws his first foul of the game.
Starting out early, they want to give pressure onto Schlotthauer as much as they can. Let them know that they're right on his back.
That's not quite the way to do it, though. Get one of your leading players in foul trouble early. 7 minutes left here in the first period, just underway. Score tied at 2 between the Mustangs and the Bengals. Masso directing traffic. And a lane violation, and Blaine will get it going their way.
You can see, already see number 14, Tim Masso for the Mustangs. He's the quarterback. He was already out there directing traffic that time.
Interesting you should say he's the quarterback. He is the quarterback for the Mounds View Mustang football team. Air ball, but put in by Lund. Lund waiting on the other end, and Blaine's in the lead, 4-2. Masso at the top of the key, a 1-3-1 offense being run by the Mounds View Mustangs with Schlotthauer in the middle. Schlotthauer now takes the low post, goes for the rebound, but Lund comes away with it. Lund just about stepping out of bounds. Fisher's got it now. That's Mike Fisher.
Good
Fisher wearing 13 and Dave Fisher wearing 21.
It was a good 2-3 zone defense by Blaine, putting the offside guard in deep on Schlotthauer.
Shooting from outside is Jeff Wirtz, and Wirtz has a pair for the Bengals. 6-2. Bengals in the lead. Here's Schlotthauer from the outside being guarded by Wirtz. He'll try it. Doesn't fit. Goes in, and coming away with the rebound is McKay. Jason McKay pulls away a rebound for the Blaine Bengals, and down the court come the Bengals. Here's Fisher. Fisher getting it almost taken away from him by Masso. Now passes it over to Dave Fisher. Got to watch those Blaine guards when they fake to shoot. The pass by Wirtz, errant, and goes right into the hands of number 44 for the Mounds View Mustangs. That's Kelzenberg. Ball tipped in by McTavish, and Mounds View puts in another.
That's as we said out the outset. Mounds View goes out right off the fast break and hits on a basket. Blaine will have to come back in a hurry to pick that up.
From the outside, Fisher, call it 2. Dave Fisher with 4 points now here in the first period. Fast-paced game so far. Blaine in the lead by a score of 8-4.
That's what Blaine wanted to do, get off early and hold Schlotthauer down with their 2-3 zone defense.
Wirtz, for the most part, playing Schlotthauer very close. Here's a shot from the outside, and the shot from Holter is good. Holter, the second leading scorer in the North Suburban Conference, 10th overall in the metro area. A lot of pressure being put on by Mounds View as those passes try to get inside to Wirtz. Wirtz with a nice jumper, and it goes in. He'll get the three-point attempt.
Wirtz did a good job. He backed into his opponent, put it up with his body right next to him, drew the foul, and had a nice touch off into the basket.
That's one thing Jeff Wirtz definitely has, is a lot of good touch. You see that bandage around his knee. That's kept him out of the football season against the Irondale Knights, game that Blaine lost in the regionals, but Wirtz has been playing very well of late, according to head coach Kenny Novak. Inside to Schlotthauer. Schlotthauer gets it taken away by Lund, right over the top of his head.
Blaine packed it in real nice there. Took it away from Schlotthauer, and that's what they have to continue to do all night long.
McKay gets it inside to Lund, but nothing there. Here's Fisher. Fisher doesn't get the roll. Foul inside. It'll be on Schlotthauer.
Good offensive rebounding there by Blaine. Wirtz tried to get inside of Schlotthauer. Schlotthauer gave him a push, and you can't do that.
Here's Wirtz from the outside, a long gunner, but McKay's there. It's off the back of the board. Mounds View controls. Inside to Schlotthauer. Kelzenberg will take the shot and doesn't fit. Goes to the outside, rebounded by Fisher. The outlet pass, they're looking for the other Dave Fisher. He pulls up against Schlotthauer. Here's Lund, but that's off the back of the board, nothing there. And hammered is McKay as he tries to put up the offensive rebound for another 2 points. We'll see who gets the foul.
Once again, you can never say too much about getting that inside position when you're down there rebounding. Jason McKay was down there with Schlotthauer, and the other Mounds View forwards all over him, but he had the inside position, and he was able to get the rebound.
Here's Wirtz. Knocked back by Schlotthauer, and he'll draw his second foul. Well, it's no secret what Blaine is going to try and do. They're going to go right after Steve Schlotthauer. Jeff Wirtz on the line for the Bengals. Gets the roll, and it's 12-6 Bengals over the Mounds View Mustangs. 3:41 left here in the first period. You're watching North Suburban Conference basketball action on Group W Cable. Along with Jim Sella, I'm Charlie Stellick. Outlet pass to Kelzenberg. Kelzenberg has to wait for the rest of the offense to get there. Cross-court pass. Here's a shot, and it's in. Holter with his second bucket of the night.
You can see on that break, Blaine got back. You could tell after that one time down the court when the Mounds View fast break them, you could tell they got the message through, and all the Blaine players quickly got back after that rebound by Mounds View.
1-3-1 zone being put up by the Mounds View Mustangs. This rebound comes down in the hands of Fisher. Fisher, surrounded in the land of the Giants, gets it out to McKay. McKay will drive to Lund. Lund puts it up off the glass and 2.
Boy, you can't say enough for that Mike Fisher down there getting a rebound in the land where he's not supposed to be, but he had position and he got the rebound.
Here's Schlotthauer inside, and he's surrounded immediately by 3 Bengals. McKay, Lund, and Wirtz all closed in on him. Here's Masso from the outside, nothing doing. It goes to Lund off the tip. Here's Fisher bringing it down, outlet to Dave Fisher. Fisher gets open and puts it in for 2.
A taste of Mounds View's own medicine. Blaine fast breaks him. Fisher gets the basket.
16-8 the score, and the Mounds View Mustangs call timeout. 2:32 left in the first period. You're watching North Suburban Conference High School basketball action on Group W Cable. We'll be back right after this. Right now, I think offensive rebounding has to be the key for the Blaine Bengals. They're getting the ones that Mounds View ordinarily would get.
Oh, definitely. They don't have the height on the Mounds View, but they're playing good position basketball. Again, they're getting their bodies inside, taking control of that, making Mounds View reach over the top of them to get the ball.
Masso will try to bring it over to McTavish. McTavish gets it inside to Schlotthauer. Schlotthauer has a good inside shot. He's being watched by Wirtz. That one's in. And McKay drew a foul underneath as he was positioning for a rebound.
That'll show you the talent of Schlotthauer right there. He takes about a 17-foot jumper with a man in his face, and he cans it.
Giving up an inch on Schlotthauer was Wirtz, but it didn't really make any difference. Here's McTavish, or Kelzenberg, I'm sorry. Drawing the foul and putting in the bucket at the same time is Holter.
Good position by Coulter. The ball came off the board. He was right there to grab it, and he didn't put it on the floor like a lot of people will. He went right back up with it off the glass and in. He got fouled.
Generally, most coaches will say if you get to put it on the floor, you're going to get to put it in. Holter completes the three-point play. Mounds View back into the game very quickly. It's 16-13. Blaine over Mounds View here in the opening minutes of the first period. Actually, 2:08 left in the first period. Fisher gets it off to McKay. It was tipped by Holter. Inside, this is Wirtz. Wirtz trying to drive for position along the baseline and was knocked out of bounds, I believe, by Masso. Masso draws the foul.
Masso was trying to use the end line there for another defender, trying to force off the Blaine ball player by just sailing right up to the line, but he got caught when he was moving.
Fisher tried to take one too many steps and got caught for it. Mounds View will come back up the floor with the ball. They're down by 3, 16-13 here in the first period. Mounds View still operating in that 1-3-1 type offense. They're trying to get it to Schlotthauer in the middle. McKay got his hands on it. Wirtz have to see what call they get, and Mounds View will end up with the ball.
He stepped on the end line as he was trying to pass it back in bounds.
Here's Schlotthauer. Schlotthauer would like to take that shot again, I think. Definitely not getting much room inside. Nice outside bucket. Holter keeping Mounds View in the game.
You can see that they're trying to move Schlotthauer outside more so that Blaine can't pack it in the zone around him. You saw that the last 2 times down the floor.
It won't fit for Fisher, and coming down with the rebound is Kelzenberg. Kelzenberg will bring it down the floor. Blaine setting up in their defense. Here's Schlotthauer, waits for Lund to get out of the way, now waits for Wirtz to get out of the way, and was fouled, I think, by Wirtz on the way in.
There was that good movement off the fast break by Mounds View. Schlotthauer sets up wide on the outside, gets the ball, does a fake, and gets the defender in the air, something you don't want to do when you're a defensive man. Puts up the shot and gets fouled.
Wirtz's second foul of the evening. Both teams even on team fouls with 4 as Schlotthauer puts in the first one. Just 3 points for the big center from Mounds View, and he's deadly from the free throw line. 4 points now for Steve Schlotthauer. 17-16 with that free throw. Mounds View goes into the lead. Here's McKay in the corner. Big wide 2-3 offense being put up by Blaine, and Fisher sticks one for the Bengals. His 4th bucket of the first period. That came off of Fisher as he was playing really good Johnny on the spot defense. Mounds View controls, however. Masso looking for somebody inside. 2-3 defense being put up by Blaine, sagging on Schlotthauer whenever he gets the ball. Here's McTavish inside. McTavish gets position, passes off to Schlotthauer, off the glass, Wirtz goes flying, but it's a good shot by Schlotthauer.
Credit that play to McTavish there with the feed into the big man Schlotthauer. Mounds trying to switch the roles, put McTavish down underneath, set Schlotthauer outside, give it to McTavish there and put it to Schlotthauer. It's working. Blaine's going to have to counteract that with some kind of defense.
Mike Fisher drew the foul. Foul was on number 44, Kelzenberg, his first. Tipped in. Nice job from Corey Lund. Blaine retakes the lead, 20-19. Ball tipped outside, and the Fishers are really playing havoc on defense. Mounds, you're really not getting set up in their game so far.
That's where you see the sagging Blaine guard coming back and knocking the ball out of Schlotthauer's hands. He didn't even see him come back there.
Steve Schlotthauer wearing number 50. He's the metro area leading scorer, averaging 24 points a game. Amazing athlete. Coach Kenny Novak of Blaine called him perhaps the best talent on the floor. Inside to Schlotthauer. Schlotthauer looking for some room and gets it over Lund. Boy, he just plain out faked him.
That'll show you the talent of Schlotthauer. He had three men standing right around him. He just turned around and put one up. Nice touch.
And that's the end of the first period, as with that shot from Schlotthauer, Moundsview goes into the lead by a score of 21-20. Stay tuned. We've got more exciting basketball coming up. You're watching This Week in Sports on Group W Cable, Channel 12. The second period of action, briefly to sum up the action. Dave Fisher with 8 points for the Blaine Bengals. He's the leading scorer for the Bengals so far, all from outside jump shots. Schlotthauer and Holter. Schlotthauer has 8 points, 3 field goals, and 2 free throws. Holter with 8 points from the field and 1 free throw. So he is the leader with 9. Blaine spreading it out, trying to find the open man. McKay putting up the jumper, not there.
Good passing that time by Blaine as they threw it around the perimeter. Took the long pass and he tried to get the shot up, but it wouldn't go.
A lot of cross-court passing on both teams' part as they attempt to get the offense going. In now for the Moundsview Mustangs at the point is Runeberg. This is Schlotthauer at the top of the key looking for somebody. Couldn't find it. Runeberg faked a shot. Fisher was looking for it. Here's Schlotthauer. Schlotthauer, oh, he's deadly. I can see why he's got that kind of talent. Right away, he's got 12 points, and he was shut out with 2 earlier in the first period.
They just let the guards feed him as he runs along the free throw line. Turnaround jumper, good. You can't say enough about that man.
Wirtz being surrounded by Moundsview Mustangs as he attempts the shot from about 15. Here's Fisher. He'll try a gunner from 20 and can it.
Can't hardly play defense like that. Fisher had a hand in his face from about 20 feet, nothing but net.
10 points for the Blaine guard, all from the field and all from jumpers about that length. Here's Schlotthauer. Schlotthauer, he shows a good outside shot. We're going to run out of room on the score sheet pretty quick.
Usually you think of a big man inside not having a good outside shot, but Schlotthauer disproves that case.
Steve Schlotthauer, senior center, 6'5". You know, most of the attention goes to Rod Gross from Irondale in the area as being the top college recruit, but I seriously think some colleges ought to take a look at Schlotthauer. He is really a deadly shot from the outside.
He doesn't have a lot of bulk, but he has the touch that makes up for it.
Jason McKay caught with one too many feet on the floor, and it'll go Moundsview's way. They lead 25-22 as action gets underway here in the second period.
Blaine's done the job they have to do. They kept it close in the first quarter, didn't let Moundsview run away, and they had to play catch-up ball. Therefore, they're still in that 2-3 zone.
Schlotthauer wants the ball, and you know why. He puts in another 2-pointer for the Moundsview Mustangs. or 10 points in the first period. He's got 4 already here in the second period. Knocked away by Runeberg and now handled by Schultz. Andy Schultz tries to put it off the glass, nothing there. Save, Schlotthauer's got it now. Outside shot put up by number 40, Holter. And he has his 11th points of the night. Timeout called by the Blaine Bengals as Moundsview was starting a run. The score in the second period is 29-22 Moundsview. You're watching KBL Sports. by 16-8, but Mounds View, with steady outside shooting from Schlotthauer, who else, have forged into the lead.
I'm sure during the timeout there, Kenny Novak Jr. was telling the Blaine Bengals just to slow it down. Keep pace. You're in the game still. Just slow it down and play your kind of half-court offense.
Runeberg still in for the Mounds View Mustangs. He's harassing the guards, the Fishers. Inside now to Lund. Lund inside to Fisher. And that ball will go Blaine's way as it was tapped out, I believe, by Holter.
Blaine's trying to take advantage of that early success they had by feeding the ball inside, trying to go right at Schlotthauer, trying to get him to commit some fouls in there.
Schlotthauer has 2 that we have unofficially here on our score sheet. One more would definitely make Coach Sig Calls think a little bit. Here's Fisher, long ball. Here's McKay, nice rebounding effort, and he'll draw the foul from Runeberg.
Great hustle by McKay to come out way out on top and pick off the rebound. Shielded the ball well, got the defensive man right on his back, and he had to commit the foul.
McKay isn't the type of player that you'll notice in the stats very often, but he's the kind of player that you'll notice things happen around him. He's the one who'll get the pass inside, and he puts in a very crucial free throw for the Blaine Bengals. Down 29-23, they need all the points they can get against this Mounds View attack. McKay puts in a pair for the Bengals. Down the floor come the Mounds View Mustangs. Runeberg will take it outside and wait for it to set up. Look at McKay. He's got his hand in Schlotthauer's jersey. Here's Fisher. Fisher coming down with a rebound. Nice position. Puts up a floater. Here's Wirtz, I should say, and tapped out of bounds by Dave Fisher.
2 Blaine guards, the Fisher boys, playing really good rebounding basketball. They're keeping it close, keeping their bodies in position to get the ball.
29-24 your score. Mounds View over the Blaine Bengals. It's been a very close but wide open, well-played game. Here's Schlotthauer. Couldn't get that one to fit and draws the foul.
Great defense by Blaine's McKay on Schlotthauer. Forced his body, stood straight up, didn't leave his feet when Schlotthauer faked. Just stood still on the ground, made Schlotthauer put up a shot that he really didn't want to have because he was kind of off balance.
Check that. The foul is on Holter, and going to the line will be Fisher. So Holter drawing his first foul of the game. Fisher doesn't get the roll on that one as it bounced off the back of the rim. Down the floor comes the Mounds View Mustangs. Boy, they are not wasting any time at all getting set up. And McTavish puts in his 3rd bucket of the night. 31-24, Mounds View over Blaine. A 3-2 zone defense being put up by the Mounds View Mustangs. They're matching up on the guards. And as I say that, Fisher runs around the back by the baseline unattended. Here's Mike Fisher. Nice outlet pass to somebody at the midcourt, but not there was anybody. Shot off the rim, McTavish, and putting it in was Holter.
You see why Holter's a second leading scorer in this North Suburban Conference. He got good position, put the ball up and in.
Here's McKay. McKay puts up a long one, but that one goes errant. And the same kind of offensive start for this break. Nothing called, and here's Schlotthauer. Schlotthauer loses control of the ball. It'll go Blaine's way.
That's good presence of mind by Andy Schultz of Mounds View. He was on the floor. He really didn't have anyone to pass to. He just sat there. He knew if he tried to get up, that he'd be called for traveling, so he just looked for a man. He found it and made a nice, crisp pass.
It's so hard to remember when you're on the floor and you've got people running all around you that if you move, you make the move with your knees, you're going to be called for traveling.
Definitely a cool-headed play by that youngster.
3:20 left here in the second period, 33-24. Mounds View's lead over Blaine. Here's Wirtz. Wirtz decided not to take the shot and passed it off to Fisher at the top of the key. Mike Fisher, here's the alley-oop, and Wirtz missed it.
That was a great play. Technically it was very sound because Fisher saw Wirtz make a nice move to the basket. He was unattended, made a nice pass, but Wirtz just couldn't get it to roll over the rim.
That's a move I saw Wirtz working in the pregame warm-ups, and I was thinking, what's he doing without the ball? And you don't see too many alley-oops in high school basketball, but that was a perfectly executed one, just didn't fit in the bucket. Mounds View passing it around, playing the motion offense basically, looking for somebody inside. Haven't seen them go to the fast break too much. They want to play the half-court offense. Rebounded by Wirtz off the shot from Schultz. Here's Fisher. Fisher puts up the gunner. The Blaine guards have suddenly become cold, and that might tell the difference in this game.
The Blaine guards kept Blaine in the game early when they were hot. Now they've cooled down a little. The margin's gone to 9.
33-24 your score here at Blaine Senior High School. Mounds View over Blaine. Well played game. Here's McTavish. McTavish with the hot hand. His 4th field goal of the night, 35-24, Mounds View over Blaine. Here's Schlotthauer. Nice feed from Masso, and Schlotthauer doesn't miss. Here's a timeout called by the Blaine Bengals with 1:50 left here in the second period. Your score, Mounds View 37, Blaine 24. You're watching KABL Sports.
Happy birthday.
You made it to 50, and you've still got your health. There's a lot more healthy birthdays ahead, if you watch your step. You see, colorectal cancer is big for men and women over 50. But when it's diagnosed early, the cure rate is very high. So don't slip up. Get a colorectal checkup, and hopefully everyone over 50 will follow in your footsteps. The American Cancer Society.
You have
Back at Blaine Senior High School, the score, Mounds View 37, Blaine 24. And Jim Sella, I have a feeling that the main reason that Blaine's not doing so well right now, actually 2 reasons. Their outside shooting has gone a little cold on them, and they're not quite getting the offensive rebounding they used to in the first period.
Yeah, that helps out twofold for Mounds View. First, it gives them the fast break and lets them get down to the floor really quick, and that lends itself to Blaine not being able to set up their tight defense that they did in the first half. And they controlled Schlotthauer.
Controlling Schlotthauer is the key, but it's hard to keep a good man down. What a steal by McTavish, but kept in by Blaine. That one goes over the head of Strengy, number 43. Chris Strengy, a 6'2 junior forward, just came into the game for the Blaine Bengals. He was in the game before the timeout, I should add.
Shows you what good pressure defense will do for you. Mounds View playing good, tight pressure defense. They have to forces Blaine to throw a bad pass across the arena, gets kicked out of bounds.
Mounds View setting up. Schlotthauer out of the game right now. McTavish will take the pivot position. And trying to come down with a rebound was McTavish, but he knocked down Fisher in the process.
Good inside position by Fisher on that. Got his body inside of McTavish, and McTavish had only one move, and that was to knock him over to get the ball.
McTavish, Kelzenberg, Holter, Masso. And check the number of Andy Schultz. Those are the players in the game right now for the Mounds View Mustangs. Schlotthauer getting a rest. 16 points for the Mounds View center so far here in the game. That free throw good by Dave Fisher, his first of the night. Fisher makes it 2. 37-26, Mounds View over Blaine. Well, Blaine has not gotten down early. They were in the lead, as a matter of fact, 16-8 at one time in the first period, but Mounds View has come back. Combination of hot shooting from Schlotthauer and good overall play on rebounding, offensive rebounding by Mounds View.
Looks like Mounds View will try to hold it for one on this time with only 49 seconds left. Big time down the court for Blaine. If they can hold them here, keep it to 11 or possibly make a turnover, get a basket, it'll be under 10 going into halftime.
Fisher's looking for a steal, Dave and Mike. Strengy comes out to play Masso. Masso faked the shot. Here's Schultz. Masso and Schultz playing a little passing back and forth game. Kelzenberg to Schultz. They're definitely playing for the last shot. No shot clock here in the North Suburban Conference, of course, so they can play with it as long as they like. 37-26 your score. Mounds View over Blaine. Mounds View trying for the last shot. Clock counting down. 7, 6, 5, Here's McTavish from the side. He was hot there before. This one doesn't fit. Rebounded by Lund, and Blaine will not get an opportunity to get another shot off.
I'm sure that's not the shot they wanted down when they were holding it for one. They wanted to take an inside shot.
Okay, at the end of the first half of play from the Blaine Gymnasium, it's Mounds View 37 and Blaine 26. We'll be back to take a look at halftime statistics in just a moment.
Distant future.
The pasta will be al dente in exactly 2 minutes, 17 seconds.
Robots have taken on man's more menial tasks. Some seem so human, they're like part of the family.
This is a weeknight. Tomorrow is a school day.
I know, Lois.
Hey, Bobby. Lois is right. Bed.
But now, that's all in the past.
709 at 5th and Sumter.
It's 709.
It means people have died.
A maniac's reprogramming has turned household help into soulless assassins. Simple bullets are transformed into heat-seeking missiles that can't miss. And this cop's life has become a death trap that can spring shut in the blink of an eye.
He's killed 5 so far. I want him.
Tom Selleck and Gene Simmons star in the sci-fi adventure Runaway.
Meet the pole climber. He's trying to hook up his TV to cable without paying for it. His first cousin is the converter. He's trying to modify his cable TV converter box to receive pay channels without paying for them. But what you're doing is illegal. You're stealing. Every state in the country has laws that make stealing cable service a crime, punishable by substantial fines, and in some cases, imprisonment. So listen, don't think stealing cable TV isn't a crime, because it is. Be smart. Call your local cable company to hook you up, legally. This message has been brought to you by Group W Satellite Communications and your local cable company.
Back at Blaine Senior High School, along with Jim Sella, I'm Charlie Stellick. The score at halftime, the Blaine Bengals 37 and the Mounds View Mustangs 37 and the Blaine Bengals 26. It's definitely a game that it saw a transition with Blaine taking the lead early, Jim.
Blaine was early on, they were able to slow the tempo down, get into their kind of half-court offense, and really put pressure on Schlotthauer, the big guy for Mounds View. And by doing that, they really made the rest of the Mounds View team take up the slack, but they weren't able to do that, and Blaine was able to counteract that with some good outside shooting by their guards, the Fisher boys, and they took the early lead.
Dave Fisher, of course, the leader for the Blaine Bengals with 12 points here in the first half. Dave Fisher shooting almost exclusively from the outside and from the 15 to 18 point range, or 18-foot range. Quite an exhibition by the junior guard.
Especially when you have a hand in your face. He's coming out and the hand in your face is about 3 or 4 inches taller than you. It's a lot harder than you think it is when you're standing up here.
But Mounds View, of course, came back. Blaine, of course, at one time had a 16-8 lead, or Blaine had a 16-8 lead in the first period. But Mounds View came back playing steady offense and basically going to Steve Schlotthauer. And Schlotthauer surprised me. He shows a good outside shooting touch.
That was mainly they did that because of what Blaine was doing. Blaine was packing their offside guard down in low and really containing Schlotthauer. And then I'm sure Mounds View saw this, and then they ran Schlotthauer outside on the outside post, and they were able to run him in, and with that outside shot, he can just hit from there for all day.
Schlotthauer finishing the half with 16 points in the first half, and a lot of that did come from the outside. Blaine, of course, using that sag defense, that 2-3 zone defense, sagging on him whenever he got the ball inside, and that basically made the difference. Mounds View shifting to another type of offense with Schlotthauer shooting more from the outside, and they take the lead now at 37-26.
Another interesting player for Mounds was that Steve McTavish. He really had a lot of hustling rebounds, and he set up the plays a lot, and he himself has a good outside shot. When they weren't working Schlotthauer, they were working McTavish. That's hard to do when you have to concentrate on two people instead of one.
Holter finishing with 11 points here in the first half for the Mounds Mustangs, and McTavish finishing up with 8 here in the first period. To run down all of the scoring for you, leading, as we said before, for the Blaine Bengals, Dave Fisher with 12 points, and Jeff Wirtz with 6, Corey Lund with 4, and Jason McKay and Mike Fisher finishing with 2 apiece. In the first period for the Mounds Mustangs, Schlotthauer, of course, leading with 16 points, McTavish with 8, Holter with 11, Kelzenberg with 1, that from the free throw line. But I think right now what the Blaine Bengals have to do, Jim, is to decide how to defend Schlotthauer, whether he's inside or outside.
Definitely, they're either going to have to say, okay, we're gonna let you have all your points that you can get, and we're going to cut the rest of your teammates off from you, and you won't be able to use them. Or they can use the other theory by saying, we're going to cut you off and let your teammates try to pick up the slack if you can't get it for them. That's basically what they'll have to decide on at halftime right now.
Do you think that Blaine will go more to their outside shooting guards? They were getting a little cold here in the end of the first half.
They'll try to establish that early if they can, like they did when they came out. I think they'll find out early if it's not there. They'll try to slow it down and try to go for something inside. And I'm sure Mr. Novak's telling his team right now at halftime to look for the good shot, look for the good pass. Don't try to force it in like they were trying to do in the second quarter when they started to lose their tempo and lose the lead there.
One play I would like to see again, just to see them complete it, is that alley-oop that Jeff Wirtz just about had. I think he was going for a dunk, if you ask me.
I think so, too, and I think Mounds was pretty much shocked on the play. They looked up and saw Wirtz flying through the air at the basket and saw the ball coming towards him, and they didn't know how to defend it.
That's something that we hope to see here in the second period. What do you think Mounds is going to attempt to do here in the second half?
Mounds will keep up their game. They'll keep the running tempo with the fast breaks and running Schlotthauer out top. And if he can hit from the outside like he has been, and he's been hot, they shouldn't change it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, the old saying goes.
Go to the dance with what brought you, in other words.
That's right.
Okay, from the Blaine Gymnasium, the score, Mounds 37, Blaine 26. We'll be back with second half action right after this.
These mouth-watering moments of delicious, low-fat, low-cholesterol delights were brought to you by the American Heart Association, because we believe you'll eat right if you know what's good for you. Give us a call, the American Heart Association. We're fighting for your life.
At Blaine Senior High School, we're getting ready to get the third period of action underway. There you saw the score, Mustangs 37, Bengals 26. A game which saw the transition of leads go from big to little, as Blaine held a 16-8 lead in the first period at one time. Mounds of course, now with an 11-point lead here to start the second half.
Mounds switched to a man-to-man defense because they're down by 11. They have to pressure that ball whenever they can.
By Blaine, you mean?
Blaine, excuse me.
Kelzenberg says, well, I've got an answer for that, as he puts in the first bucket of the second period. 39-26 now. Mounds in the lead.
These first couple trips down the court was going to tell the tale for Blaine. If they can do something positive and stick the basket in, the ball in the basket, then they should be able to stay with Mounds.
Stealing the ball right off from Fisher is McTavish. McTavish avoiding a steal attempt from the other Fisher, Dave. Outside shooting, that might prove the difference. Wirtz comes off with that one as Holter couldn't get it to fit. Just underway with action here in the second half here at Blaine Senior High School. Along with Jim Sella, I'm Charlie Stellick. North Suburban Conference boys basketball action from Blaine Senior High School. Blaine at 1-3, Mounds at 2-2 in the North Suburban, but those are both deceiving records. These are very good basketball teams. Looking for An opportunity for the close inside bucket is Blaine, and they're going to do a lot of passing to get it. Here's a cross-court pass to Fisher. Fisher can't get it to fit.
Mounds playing a tough 2-1-2 zone defense with McTavish in the middle, switching back forth under low.
Masso with his first points of the night. And very quickly, Kenny Novak says, well, that's not going to work. We're going to call a timeout to find out what will. We'll keep it right here at Blaine Senior High School. Won't be going to a break. 6:22 left here in the third period, just getting underway. And what do you think Kenny Novak's calling for?
I'm
Jim?
sure he's might be telling his team right now to try to go to some type of full court pressure, keep the guards in check, not let them get that fast break. I'm sure he's telling his guards to make a crisp, nice pass, because they're starting to get sloppy up top, and we saw McTavish on the one steal take it away and get an easy 2 points for Moundsview.
41-26 your score. Moundsview over Blaine. A game that Moundsview would certainly like to blow open, and Blaine would like to get a whole lot closer. And I think they can do it if they can just get the outside shooting from the Fisher boys back.
That will, yes, indeed. That'll take some of the pressure off the inside men, because right now Moundsview is kind of playing off the guards, and they can afford to do that when Blaine is not shooting as hot as they want. Once you start packing it underneath, it's hard to get the ball in, and consequently it makes things tough all over for the offense.
There you got a brief look at Kenny Novak Sr. He, of course, Blaine fixture for so many years, and now his son, Kenny Jr., coaching the Blaine basketball team here against the Moundsview Mustangs. Play is underway once again as Mike Fisher brings it up for the Blaine Bengals, gives it off to Dave Fisher. Fisher looking inside but can't find anybody. Here's a bounce pass to Wirtz. Wirtz up against Schlotthauer. Masso knocks it out of bounds.
There you see the guard coming way down low, right on the baseline to knock the ball out of the hands. So I was talking about guards not being able to shoot for Blaine. The guards for Moundsview has the luxury of coming way down low.
Here's McKay looking for a shot outside. Here's Fisher. Fisher, an air ball, nothing doing. And that will go Moundsview's way, as I think it came off Wirtz's hands.
Good points. Moundsview's aircraft carrier, Schlotthauer, is sitting on the bench. They can get some pressure in underneath and get the ball in there. Take advantage of Schlotthauer not being in there, and to get some unanswered points, they should be able to reel off a couple here.
Along the baseline, Fisher with a good drive, the pass to Lund.
That's where a player like Schlotthauer would cut off that pass going inside.
Lund gets his first bucket of the second period, 49-32. Blaine down to the Moundsview Mustangs, and foul underneath. McTavish took a wing in the head as he tried to drive in for that ball. And he and Wirtz say, well, Corey Lund say, well, that's the way it's going to happen inside sometimes.
That's the first on Corey Lund, his foul. It's kind of surprising coming into the game. He had his foul problems. It's only his first foul, and we're well into the third quarter of the game.
Well, I think Kenny Novak told him, well, you know, if I can't get you inside to work, he only had 12 minutes in the Elk River game, so if he's playing off a little less, so be it. In the game now for the Bengals is Phil Anderson. Phil Anderson, a fine baseball pitcher for the Blaine Bengals. And this is Fisher with a shot. It comes off back the rim. Here's Anderson. Anderson trying to drive against the Giants. Doesn't do it.
Good play by Anderson, coming a spark plug off the bench. That's what Blaine needs right now. Came off, made a good hustling play to get the ball back off the rebound.
Trying to pass to Corey Lund was Anderson, and that ball was tipped outside. Coming out of the game now is Holter for the Moundsview Mustangs. And coming in is number 22, Ray Croal. Croal, who plays running back for the Moundsview Mustangs. That ball goes in. A little finger roll by number 24, Chad Runeberg. Moundsview goes up 53-32 on the Blaine Bengals, and Runeberg will go to the line for one more.
Great play by Runeberg. Kept the man, the defender, on the inside. Went inside to get the basket. Got the foul too. Go for the three-point play. He'll get it.
Moundsview with a number of reserves in the game now. Blaine has to answer. Here's Anderson. Anderson gets it taken away by Croal. Nice jumping steal by Ray Croal. Here come the Moundsview Mustangs once again. Cross-court pass inside. This is check that. I was going to say Bergstedt. It is. Here's Anderson. Anderson on the drive on the fast break. He puts in a pair for the Blaine Bengals.
Couple more like that, and Blaine will be right back in the ball game.
Got a long way to go. 20-point deficit here at Blaine Senior High School. A minute 30 left in the third period. 54-34 your score. McTavish looking inside, knocked away by Lund. Here's McTavish on Wirtz. Puts up the one-handed jumper, nothing there. But Bergstedt rebounds. That doesn't fall. Nice attempt by Andy Schultz, but rebounded by Lund.
Schultz almost a spectacular basket, falling on the ground, face first, put one up in a vain effort, but didn't go.
Nice feed on the part of Anderson to Lund, and nearly the dunk rebound by Wirtz. 53 seconds left here in the period.
Wirtz wanted to make it look good on that one, taking the ball right off the rim and trying to slam it back, but he couldn't get enough height on it. It caromed off the back rim.
Well, when you're down by 20 points, you've got to do something to fire up your team. A dunk certainly would do it here. At Blaine Senior High School, here's the alley-oop play once again that we thought we'd see, and fouled was Wirtz as he tried to go up. Foul will be on Runeberg, I believe, and he raises his hand.
Good defense on that time by McTavish on Wirtz. Played him solid, didn't leave his feet, but the foul came on the defender coming from behind Wirtz, slapped the ball and his hands.
Wirtz at the line will shoot two. First one doesn't fall. And Wirtz misses the second one, but McKay gets the rebound inside to Lund. Lund, it's off the back of the rim. Second attempt is good, and he drew a foul from McTavish at the same time.
Right there you see Corey Lund right there using the old adage, if it does, first it don't succeed, try again. Put it up the first time, it didn't go, stayed with it, kept his body solid on the good defense, rebounding, and then got the second time and put it up and in.
Lund, Blaine also cold at the free throw line. McKay steals it and puts it in for two. Jason McKay becoming a force in this game as he steals that ball away. Puts it in for his first bucket of the evening. And a foul is called
on Mike Fisher for reaching in.
Jason McKay playing solid forward for the Blaine Bengals. Made a nice steal underneath. 54-38 your score. Mounds View over Blaine with just 30 seconds left here in the third period. Here's Croal. Croal will get it inside. Bergstedt. Oh, I'm sorry, McTavish. Nice left-handed layup off the glass.
Croal's come in the last 2 minutes. Had a couple of steals. Made two nice passes, especially on that one underneath.
Shot from Fisher. Dave Fisher puts in his second bucket of the second half. A whistle and wait to see what's going on.
It's an injury timeout. Corey Lund there pulled up, kind of limping.
Oh, that's going to mean real problems for the Blaine Bengals. If Corey Lund is out, could be big problems for the Blaine Bengals. They need his size inside.
Corey Lund at 6'7". Corey Lund at 6'7" has a 4-inch advantage over everyone else out there right now. Except he'll be taken away going to the locker room.
Did you see what happened to him? I was watching the action at the other end of the court when Lund pulled up lame.
It was just behind the play, and that's all he did. He just kept limping off, and the referee made a nice play by calling it right away.
Bucket goes in for the Mounds View Mustangs, and a foul called at the same time. Foul underneath. Going to the line will be Andy Schultz.
Foul's going to be on McKay, his fourth. Good rebounding pressure under there, and that shows why McKay is hustling all over the court, but he's going to get called for fouls like that.
Schultz puts in the first of two. Second one off the rim, and apparently a lane violation by the, no, it's going to be a personal foul. Checking to see what the numbers were. It might be it'll be out of bounds as both teams have 4 team fouls.
going to be on Kevin Bergstedt of Moundsview for pushing underneath.
Trying for the alley-oop buzzer shot at the end of the third period, where the Blaine Bengals, they are down to the Moundsview Mustangs by 19, 59-40 your score. You're watching KABL Sports here on Group W Cable. We'll be right back.
If you want to see more action like that, then tune in to Sports Update, the most comprehensive weekly area high school sports program in the Twin Cities. Sports Update, seen each and every week here on KABL Channel 12.
It was the age of gang.
Make that 61-49 or 40 as Steve Schlotthauer opened the fourth period with a basket from the outside. Schlotthauer back in the game now as Moundsview reverts back to their starting offense. 7:40 left here in the game. 61-40 your score. Moundsview over Blaine.
Blaine's going to need to put some big pressure on Moundsview. Hope they reel off a bunch of unanswered turnovers and unanswered points. Hoping Moundsview goes really cold from the field.
So far they have been deadly. I don't have their exact figures on shooting percentage, but it has to be in the high 50s or 60s. They just haven't missed very many. Here's McKay from the outside. McKay can't get it to fall. Rebounded by McTavish. Outlet pass. Both McKay and Dave Fisher had a chance at it, but it comes off the hands of the Moundsview player. Blaine will inbound. Both teams even with 4 team fouls. Bonus shooting might become a factor here in the game. Wirtz, boy, he just can't get it to fit. Schlotthauer coming down with a rebound. Outlet pass to Masso. Masso will go to the corner to Kelzenberg. Here's a shot from Holter. Holter bangs off the rim. Schlotthauer with the rebound and banged by Stringy as he tried to go up for the offensive shot.
Good rebounding ability by Schlotthauer there. Got his back to the defenders, got the ball, kept it right against his chest so no one could hack it away, then went up with a shot, tried to take it off glass, but got hacked in the process.
Steve Schlotthauer puts in the first one.
Good rhythm at the free throw line, stays on top of the free throw line.
Shoots from above the head, and that style works for him. He's got 6 points now here in the first half. Just about on course with his 24-point-a-game average. So far, he's got 22. 6:46 left in the game. Here's Mike Fisher. Mike Fisher putting in a bucket for the Blaine Bengals. And now they'll resort to a full-court pressure-type defense. Fisher on Masso. Inside to Schlotthauer. Schlotthauer not really ready for it, but he'll put the shot up anyway. What an adjustment by Schlotthauer to put that bucket in.
Can't say enough about him. Not only does he make them when there's nobody on him, but he can make them when he's twisting, turning, and he has a man on him.
Mike Fisher looking inside for Anderson. Anderson will put one up from about 18. Nothing there. Rebounded by McTavish. Outlet to Masso. Masso handled by Anderson. Here's Kelzenberg, and Kelzenberg puts it in for the Moundsview Mustangs.
Good play by Kelzenberg. The pass was a little bit behind him. He reached back, got it, got under control, and put the ball up and in.
67-42, Moundsview over Blaine. Anderson trying to put up the long shot. Here's Stringy. Stringy with a nice move. Couldn't get it to fall. Masso on the outlet. Moundsview has got their fast break offense working now. Coming back, but Wirtz wasn't ready for the pass from Dave Fisher.
Right idea. Fisher had the right idea, but it just led him a little bit too far.
Timeout called on the floor here at Blaine Senior High School. 5:35 left in the game. Mounds View leads 67-42. You're watching basketball action on KABL Channel 12. Back at Blaine Senior High School, 5:35 left in the game. Blaine down to the Mounds View Mustangs by a score of 67-42. Blaine going to try some full court pressure defense, but Mounds View ready for it. Inside, here's Bergstedt. Bergstedt, the one-hander doesn't fall. Rebound struggled for inside. It'll go Mounds View's way.
Mounds View's got the second team, if you will, out there, replacing Schlotthauer and McTavish.
In the game now are Bergstedt. Number 34 is Andy Schultz. 24 is Runeberg. Number 30 is Jack Skelton. We've not seen him in the game so far, but Skelton is in for the Mounds View Mustangs. Pencil his number in there. And here's Wirtz underneath. Wirtz underneath, fouled by Bergstedt. Good aggressive attempt at rebound or at defense, but Wirtz will go to the line.
Good heads-up play by Mike Fisher for Blaine that time. Looked up, kept his head up on the dribble, saw that Wirtz was breaking for the basket, got him the ball. Wirtz did a nice job on catching it and putting it up right away, but was fouled.
Wirtz puts in the first of two. 67-43, Mounds View over Blaine. Rebound struggled for inside by Fisher and Bergstedt. Blaine keeping up the full court press defense. Trying to do a little bit of a half court trap, but Croal now with the ball, gets it inside. Here's the shot by number 30, Skelton. That comes off, and the shot put up again by Croal. Rebound still being struggled for. It'll go Mounds View's way.
Boy, Croal's really a catalyst out there for Mounds View. Come in, the last two times he's came in, he's hustled all the way, got a couple of things he shouldn't have, and made him work for him.
That one doesn't fall for him. Underneath, Skelton with an unbelievable move underneath.
Great turnaround move by Skelton that time. Got the man and the basket.
He had Chris Strenge all over him and still was able to get enough leverage up on that ball to let it fall in. Skelton doesn't get the three-point play. I shouldn't have said that so soon.
Nothing like laying the jinx on Blaine.
Well, that was just one of those balls I didn't think was going to go in. No doubt about it. Skelton gets the tray for Blaine, or for Mounds View. Foul underneath as Wirtz was trying to go inside, and he'll go to the line once again.
You can really tell when Mounds View doesn't have McTavish and Schlotthauer in there, Blaine can get the ball in a little more easily when they don't have the two big men in. They feed it in underneath, and it's giving Mounds View a hard time right now trying to combat that.
Looking along the Blaine bench, I have not seen Corey Lund return to the floor, so it appears that Lund is out for the game. Didn't see what happened to him. Apparently turned an ankle or twisted a knee away from the action. We couldn't see it. Croal comes off with the rebound on the one-on-one miss from Wirtz. Croal, nice pass. And the bucket on the other end from Chad Runeberg. Pass underneath, ill-advised from Bill Anderson. But he draws the charge anyway from number 34, Andy Schultz.
Good play by Anderson to keep control of his body after he made the bad pass inside. He was able to keep control, stop, set himself, and draw the charge.
Anderson, a 5'7" junior guard, will go to the line. Now they'll, not sure just what happened there, but Moundsview guns up with the ball. Perhaps a lane violation on the part of Blaine. Couldn't see what happened there, Jim.
That would be the only thing I could guess is a lane violation.
Anyway, Moundsview goes right back to business, and Andy Schultz puts in a bucket for the Moundsview Mustangs.
That spot in the right corner has been hot for them in the past couple minutes.
Knocked away by Bergstedt was the shot from Kevin Anderson, and that ball on the other end of the outlet pass, Ray Croal putting it in for the Moundsview Mustangs. They're starting to make it a runaway, 76-43, Moundsview over Blaine. Here's Wirtz. Wirtz can't get it to fit. Rebound struggled for underneath, and traveling with the ball as he came down with the rebound is Schultz.
Great body control by Croal on the other end. Caught the ball, put it up all in one motion. Nice play.
Ray Croal, one of those, what you call them, microwave players?
Yep, you can heat the gym up in a real big hurry.
Okay, the score 76-43 here at Blaine Gymnasium. Moundsview in the lead. You're watching KABL Sports. We'll keep it right here at Blaine Senior High School. 3:41 left here in the fourth quarter.
I've really been impressed, Charlie, by two Moundsview players that really haven't got the ink. There's Steve McTavish, number 52, a 6'5" junior. And of course, Ray Croal, number 22. We saw the great play there. They really come in, they played solid defense and offense, and they just hustled all over the court and make plays happen. And that, when you're a coach, that's the kind of player you like to see, who come game in and game out, not worried about being the big man, but will just play their solid game and hustle a lot.
3:40 left here in the game. Shot put up by Anderson, struggled for underneath and come up with by Jason Carver. Inside, here's Carver and with another chance at a bucket and drew a foul instead.
I tell you, Blaine must think there's a lid on that basket. They might have to go over there and check it after the game gets out, because everything they've thrown up just hasn't dropped for them.
Moundsview ahead by a score of 37-26 at the half. They now lead 76-43 over the Blaine Bengals here. It's been a rough game for the Bengals. They lost Corey Lund earlier in the fourth period here to a ankle or knee injury of some sort. Lund has not returned to the floor, still in the locker room. Behind the back dribble by number 00 for the Moundsview Mustangs, Dave Leiser, but he can't pull off the rest of it. And Blaine comes up with the ball coming down the court. Carver inside to Strengy. Strengy, nice move, draws the foul from Swearingen.
Both teams have emptied their benches now.
Jeff Swearingen in the game now for the Moundsview Mustangs. He's a 6'2" junior forward. First of two falls off for Strengy. Jason Carver coming away with the rebound and puts it in for the Blaine Bengals.
Blaine has been hitting the boards really well. Even though they haven't been getting the roll on the shots, they've been getting the rebounds and just not getting the goal on the shots.
Leiser in and out, doesn't fall for him. Rebound by Blaine. Coming away with it is Carver after number 42 for the Moundsview Mustangs, Tom Donaldson, tried another shot off the offensive rebound.
Leiser thought he had that one. He was already running down to play defense with his hand in the air.
That ball rebounded by Marc Dufault. Leiser now trying to come up with it and does. Dufault now swings it over. The ball off the glass for Woodward. Here comes Anderson. Anderson against Woodward. Pass off to Anderson. Anderson off the glass and in.
Good play by both players, Anderson and Anderson. Phil on the shot for the fake, let the defender go by him and put up it off glass.
Here comes Phil Anderson down the court once again. He'll pull up, shoot the jumper. It's good.
There's a bright spot for Blaine. Play of Phil Anderson, a 6-foot senior. Can the last two baskets for the Bengals.
He's an outstanding pitcher for the Blaine Bengals. Remember a game we did here on Group W Cable in the spring where he pitched a 4-hit shutout against the Anoka Tornadoes.
He's a tall, lanky kind of guy. Big arms, string bean type player.
But he can play, no doubt about it. Going to the line for the Moundsview Mustangs, Jeff Swearingen. 76-50, Mounds View's lead over Blaine. 1:51 left here in the game. That one's in and out. Struggle for underneath. A lot of the parents getting involved in here as they see their kids getting into the game. I imagine for Mounds View, this is getting to be kind of a habit, seeing a lot of the reserves play, something that makes Sig Calls very happy for Mounds View. Underneath, the struggle continues for the ball, and stepped on the end line did Marc Dufault. Blaine will come up with it. Underneath, Carver handling the ball for the Bengals. Putting up the shot, and nicely done. Mark Arsdorf, 6'3" sophomore center, puts it in for the Blaine Bengals. Credit number 51 with a nice jumper.
A couple of sophomores getting playing time for the Blaine Bengals.
Leiser sticks one for the Mounds View Mustangs, so just about everybody getting a tally here in the score sheet tonight. 78-52, Mounds View over Blaine. Foul underneath as Leiser went after Randy Skiba. Skiba will go to the line.
Here's a good look at the 6'1" junior.
In and out. Blaine just can't seem to find the bucket sometimes, even when it's in the cylinder. Here's Carver. Nice pass.
Great pass.
Tim Remy.
Sophomore gets in the game and proves that he can play.
Saw him play in the B squad game. He's very quick.
He's got a good eye for basketball. He knows where to pass it and who's open.
Underneath, Randy Skiba tried to get it off to Remy. Ball came off his chest. Mounds View controlled it for a short period of time. Here's Carver, and underneath, the outlet pass to Randy Skiba, and Blaine running me out of room on the score sheet here. 78-56. Mounds View over Blaine here. That ball comes down, and controlling it for a second was Blaine. Here's a shot off the glass. Nothing there. And controlling it is Randy Skiba.
Less than 10 seconds to go in the game.
Underneath, here's Remy. Remy fouled as he went up for the shot.
Tim Remy, the sophomore, does have a future for Blaine. Shows he can pass the ball and he can take control out there, as he made a couple of nice passes for baskets. He also proved he can shoot the ball, keeping his body in control and putting it up and getting the foul in the process.
Remy puts one in for the Blaine Bengals. Tim Remy, 6'2", sophomore guard. 3 seconds, 2, 1. The shot put up by Marc Dufault, and that's the end of the game. Mounds View wins by 20 by a score of 78-58, but it was really a better game than that.
It was a closer game. Kind of got out of hand there at the end. First half was a really aggressive, well-played, close first half, and then it kind of broke open as it wore down.
Okay, the final score here from Blaine Senior High School is Mounds View 78, Blaine 58. We'll be back with a recap of tonight's action right after this.